Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School, and I was interested in making a quick comment about this thing with Cam Newton, the NFL MVP. The brother's bad. The brother is a great football player. He, did some amazing things on the field. He was an awesome player when he was at Alabama, or not Auburn. That's where he played, Auburn, not Alabama. That's sacrilegious for me to confuse the two. And and I think Cam's a decent dude. I like Cam actually. He's always smiling. He's very talented. And I think that he's conscious on some level about race and racism. At least he's seen enough of it. But I saw this really disturbing remark that Cam made about in GQ magazine. I'd love to see the context. I'd love to hear him explain what he said. But he made some comments about racism and basically saying that all those people that were hating on him and attacking him, all those white folks that were saying things about him, that were pretty negative, that race had nothing to do with it. That America's over racism. Basically, that's what he said. And I just listened to the brother. I read the remarks and I was like, whoa, come on, man, you can't do that. It doesn't mean that he doesn't have a right to his opinion. He certainly does. But, Cam's been the target of a lot of racism, and I think that just from his own experience, he should have some understanding that racism is very real in America. Most experts confirm that America is a very racist country. There are huge racial divides in terms of how the system treats you differently because you're black and how individuals treat you differently because you're black. This is not just my opinion. This is fact. This is, proven in study after study. The whole world understands how racist America is, except for Americans. What I thought was also interesting was when I looked in Cam's history, Cam's gone through some interesting situations where, these situations to me were more of a reflection of just what happens to many of our athletes. Cam and his remarks, unfortunately, they feed into the stereotype of professional and college athletes kind of being out of touch with what regular black people go through. And it's all part of a process. It's a very intricate brainwashing mechanism that's designed to put black athletes under control of powerful whites. Basically what they do is they identify you when you're 7 years old, when you're the fastest kid in your class, or you're dominating AAU football or basketball or whatever it is, or the Pee Wee leagues, and they start to isolate you. Back then, they also start to deny you in education and slowly extract your critical thinking skill. And also they kill your freedom of speech. Because basically what happens is they put these kids in what I would call golden handcuffs. And the handcuffs are financial handcuffs and educational handcuffs. Because if you're not educated, if you're educated by white folks and you're being poorly educated by white folks, then they're going to keep you stupid. They're going to keep your brain dead pretty much. So that when you get power, your only thing you're going to know to do with that power is to perpetuate white supremacy. Also, the fact that you're being educated by white people instead of your own people means that you're not going to be inclined or in tune with the needs of your community, because your reality is going to be starkly different from everybody else. Cam Newton isn't going to go through the experience of a typical black man in America because he's always been a superstar athlete ever since he was 7 years old. And I've seen it happen a lot. I remember when I was at University of Kentucky and a black woman got attacked with a knife, and it had to do with, I felt responsible because she'd actually got attacked because she defended something that I wrote in the paper where all the white kids were kind of hammering away at me, whereas she defended me, and that's what led her to be attacked. And so, and I guess I could have gotten killed or whatever at that time. For some reason, it didn't bother me. It still doesn't. You do what you got to do. And I remember we went to the athletes to ask for their help because we were struggling. We were like, hey, you're part of the black community too. Can you guys say something about this knife attack? Because this was clearly racially motivated. Because they literally said, she wrote something in her article, or in her letter, where she said, you don't know what it's like to be black on this campus. And some white guys put a knife to her throat when she was on her way to class and said, if you don't like your life on this campus, we can end it for you. Nobody was sent to jail. The university didn't do anything. They tried to cover it up. And the reason they covered it up was because the University of Kentucky was in the Final Four that week, and they didn't want negative publicity because Kentucky has a horrible history and a horrible present when it comes to racism. And I remember we asked the athletes to help us out, and it was like talking to animals from another planet. These Negroes were so out of touch that it was ridiculous. They didn't care. The only person who wasn't out of touch was Nazr Mohammed, who's now, I think Nazr's about to retire from the NBA. I think he should be retired. I mean, Nazr, that brother had a long career. I think he did 15 years in the league. And Nazr was one of the only guys who remained in touch, who actually understood his role as a black athlete. And I believe that I strongly believe that a lot of it was because he had strong cultural influences that superseded and overrode the white supremacist education that he'd received in school. Antoine Walker wasn't even talking to us. Antoine Walker wasn't hearing none of this. And it's not a coincidence that Antoine then went to the NBA and made $110 million and ended up broke. Well, brother, the reason you ended up broke is because white folks have been, setting you up since you were a baby. They were setting you up for exploitation so that they could then make money off of you. That's why they didn't care that you couldn't read, or that you weren't that. I'm not going to diss them. I'm not trying to hate on nobody, but a lot of us knew. Put it this way, a lot of us we whispered about Antoine's lack of academic qualifications at that time, and it wasn't to make fun of him. It was really out of concern, because basically they did whatever they needed to do to keep this brother on the court. And so, long story short, when I see Cam Newton, I'm kind of thinking about this, just this fact that America is a country where, when it comes to black men and black people and black athletes especially, they tend to give the biggest idiots the biggest microphone. Now, I'm not trying to say Cam Newton's an idiot. I don't think he is. In fact, I'm hoping deep down that Cam didn't mean it, that he got misquoted, that it was misinterpreted, that it was taken out of context, that he has something deeper to say. But what I really got the sense that was of what was going on in this interview, because they asked him a series of political questions. He evaded all of them. And I believe he evaded them because that's what they do to athletes. They encourage you to be politically neutral. That means that in the 1960s, when you had athletes like Jim Brown, who again was able to override white supremacist educational systems and realize his role as a black man in America, you also had other guys like Floyd, I think it was Floyd Little, who played football at Syracuse after him, who literally was convinced that he should just do all his talking on the field, that when black people are out here marching and fighting for rights, that he had no place in that he needed to be over here working for Massa so he could score touchdowns for Massa. Jim Brown said, no, I'll work with Massa, that's cool, but I'm a man, and I have a bigger obligation that supersedes you and everything that you want from me right now, because I'm committed to the people from which I came. And that's the difference between a Jim Brown and a Cam Newton. Or let's take Cam off the table for now. Jim Brown versus an Antoine Walker. I believe that if we'd had a Jim Brown on that campus back when we were trying to do our protest, I believe things would have went a lot different. I believe that he would have had our back, and I believe that we would have actually gotten a lot more done because we would have had some help. So what I would just say to Cam is, look, black people have really supported you a lot, and you owe them big time. You owe the community. I don't care what celebrity you are. Anybody who believes that black celebrities don't owe anything to black people just have no business in the black community. I mean, why are you even a part of the black community if you don't believe that people that we give so much to, if you don't believe they owe something back? If you don't believe that I owe you something, that my little bit of celebrity that I have, that I don't owe that to my community, then you shouldn't be watching this video. Or you either need to stop watching my videos or go watch more of my videos, because you have probably been affected by white supremacist brainwashing. White supremacist brainwashing pretty much says that the best thing you can do as a black person is to get away from other black people. The best thing you can do as a black person is get out of black neighborhoods, don't do anything with black people, abandon black causes, go through life as some sort of brain dead monkey so that you can get a good paycheck. And that's kind of what they do to the athletes. And that's kind of what Cam sounded like when he's up here trying to say racism doesn't exist. I mean, come on, man, it's crazy. And when I say that they give the biggest idiots the biggest platforms, I'm not talking about Cam. I don't think Cam's an idiot. But you look at Charles Barkley getting that show on TNT where he's to talk about race. I mean, we should boycott TNT over that bullshit. Excuse my French. What the hell is wrong with you? That's like picking somebody who adored Adolf Hitler and having them do a show where they're talking about the Jewish community and the Holocaust. You don't do that. That's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. And so what's interesting is that many of these networks, TNT across the board, they love these black men when they dribbling basketball, throwing football, smiling and cooning and dancing and all that. When Campbell's doing all this, doing all the dances, the dabs and stuff, they like all of that. But when black men get serious, when we start having serious conversations like the ones we're having right now, then at that point, you're no longer fun, because they want Negroes to be fun. That's why when Cam Newton was asked about football, and I'll say this and I'm done, they said, so what about all the brain damage that athletes are getting? As a black man, he should be thinking about little black boys who are going to get this brain damage. Grown men, I know grown men who play in the NFL who can't remember their name, who drive home from work, can't remember how to get home, who don't remember their own mama because of what they went through in football. And if you're a black man, you're concerned about other black men, then you say, well, this is an issue. This is something we need to look into. This is something we need to talk more about. Instead, he said, well, they forget about how much fun football is, or they forget about how much fun it creates. See, fun, the word fun. See, they like your nigga ass when you're fun. But when you get serious, then you ain't fun no more. And my goal is never to be fun. My goal is I'm not dancing next to Hillary Clinton. I'm not going to sit here and, coon for GQ magazine. None of that. And it's not, I'm not expecting Cam to be as serious as me, but you got to have some seriousness, brother. I mean, if you want these people to take you seriously, you must become serious about yourself. And if you're serious about yourself, you'll be serious about your community. So black men who are watching, be serious, because the whole world's going to want to push you toward fun. The whole world's going to push you to just chill out, smoke some weed, get high, get drunk, hang out, kick it, rap a little bit, go to the club, go mess with some honeys. That's kind of the lifestyle they want you living. They don't want you living the lifestyle of a thinker and a builder. But that's what you need when it comes to nation building. Everybody can't be out here partying and having fun all the time. At some point, even the man having fun knows when it's time to get serious and get down to business. So get down to business, black man. You're better than that. Cam Newton, same thing. Again, if Cam watches this video, no disrespect, man, but me as an older brother, uncle figure, father figure, perhaps, it's my job to tell you, just like my daddy told me when I was, first doing stuff on TV and I said something that was ignorant. My dad was like, no, you don't endorse ignorance. That's not who you are. So same thing I would say to Cam is don't endorse ignorance, black man. You're better than that. That's not who you are. All right, I'm about to get out of here. By the way, guys, if you want to participate in something that we're going to do in Atlanta, we have the All Black National Convention starting the weekend of September 16th. You can go online at allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. There are tickets that do have a price. The prices will go up. So if you want to go, don't wait till the last minute because I'm telling you, the ticket prices are going to be different from what they are now. Also, if you are interested in starting our Black Financial Leadership Program for children on Saturday, we start this weekend. You can join at blackfinancialleadership.com. That's blackfinancialleadership.com. Every parent in this program gets a free copy of the Black Millionaires of Tomorrow program. And if your child is already in that program, you actually get half off. So just contact our rep. They'll take half off the price for you because you already paid for the first program. So this is a build on where we'll be talking to the students every week and building a black economic army. That's the goal. So anyway, go check that out at blackfinancialleadership.com. Or if you're an adult and you just want to talk to me about financial stuff, about your business, about your goals, about life, or anything you want me to specifically answer your questions, I have a great coaching program. It's at askdrboyce.com. That's askdrboyce.com. The first month is free. After that, there's a cost, but I guarantee you, you'll be happy you signed up. So I'm about to get out of here, guys. Take it easy. I love you. Be good. Peace.